How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day, and if you just picked up Fire Emblem Engage, and you're playing the game and you're learning as you go, these tips are kind of about battle prep, getting started before the battle, analyzing the battle, kind of what you should do before every battle, so that way you can get the most out of it and be very effective. Now, a lot of people, this guide might not be useful to you if you're just playing casual, easy mode, normal mode, you know, you don't got permadeath. I mean, this will still be helpful, but this is definitely helpful if you're playing on the higher difficulties and you have permadeath, because you can't afford to make mistakes. The game's punishing, and battle prep and analyzing the enemy's formation and units and what they're bringing to the table is super important. But one of the first things you should always do, which I'm guilty of this too because I get caught up in just going to the next battle, moving forward, is inventory management. Make sure you have space in your inventory for your units to pick up items or other things. Don't have it totally full because, you know, there could be stuff that's useful that you need. Obviously, it'll go right to the storage if it is full. But making sure your units have the items they need, the weapons they need, is really important. So make sure you come here in the inventory and sort that. You can do it in the main base as well, but if you forget, you can still do it here. Kind of going in with that. The emblem rings, make sure you have rings on all your characters. Obviously, when you just start out, you're only going to have a few. You're not going to have all 12, but you can create bond rings. Now, the bond rings are created from an emblem, and that bond ring's a random ring, kind of like, I guess people say it's like a gotcha system or a random, you know, system. You can have bronze, silver, or gold, and you can equip that to a unit. Now, it's not as good, but it does give them stat increases. So as you can see, you know, Alir, we have Marth on here, and he gets all these extra things, a lot more stats, you know, +1, +2, +2. But then we go look at Clan here, and I only have +1, +1, but that's just because I have a May ring, which is from Celica. And like I said, each of the emblems, they have bond rings they can create, and they'll be randomly pulled. You use your bond points to get those. Make sure you throw those on your other characters and try to get the stats that match the unit and help the unit out, obviously. But, you know, obviously at this point in the game, I can't have everybody having one. But do keep up to date on it. The game kind of mentions it, but I don't really feel like the game really tells you much about it. It just says, oh, go to the ring room and do ring stuff. And, you know, so definitely emblem ring, bond ring. Keep up on the bonds. You can fuse them, get better ones over time, and all that good stuff. So, it's just something to keep in mind. Now, another thing is if we go to swap spaces, this will allow us to move units around. And this is very useful if you have a unit that might have a weakness or get messed up, like you have a mage right here or something. Make sure your units are set up right. Pay attention to where the enemy is at the beginning, if they can rush in or do anything, and swap stuff around. Another big benefit of this, the swap spaces command, is you can hit X, I believe. Yes, it is X. And X will let you see all this cool stuff. You can see what their weapon does, all the properties on it, and you can also see what class they are, what type they are. So this is a backup. This will refresh your memory if you don't know what a backup does. You know, we go over here, we see this guy. What's a covert? I don't remember what that is. Oh, it's this. It does this. So, and this will also, when you're in the swap space, you can look at every unit, see if they drop items, see what they have on them, you know. It's really, really handy. And this will also, if you do play on the online mode, if you're connected to the internet, and there's no online mode, but if you're connected to the internet when you play, you get these little circles. There's a purple one and a yellow one, and they represent, these yellow ones represent where other human players, other people like you, have lost their units, a square they died on, which may or may not imply that that spot might be dangerous if you rush to it or do something at it, you know, hastily, because other players have lost their units there. And when you go to these and wait on them or end your turn on them, you will get an XP bonus. And you will also get an item bonus. Now, these ones are only XP, and then these ones, the purple ones, are items. And the purple ones are enemies. That is a spot where an enemy has died a lot, and you have a chance to pick up the drops of the enemy. So keep these in mind. The game does explain this. I'm just kind of reminding people in case they forget, or these are pretty important, especially if you need XP or items. It's just another way to get stuff. So just kind of a little bonus thing, not a major point of the video. Now, the other thing that a lot of people don't realize too, this goes back with the X. Not only can you do it here, but when we're in the stats screen of a unit, you can hit the X button and you can go into all the details. And you can actually find out what all the stats do if you're like unsure. You know, physical attack, hit, avoid. It explains it in detail. It even shows you where the buff's coming from. You know, what's strength, what affects strength. You know, what's magic. You know, this is really nice. Luck. What's luck do? Luck has various effects, including lowering risk of enemy criticals. Also increases the, you know, chance of your critical. So, you know, luck's good. You know, all this rating. This is the unit's key stats. This is good. The higher the rating, the better the unit, and there are certain stats that a unit looks for over another unit, so keep that in mind. And you can even, you know, check your equipment here, and then you can come over and read what all your skills do, which is super nice. So, you know, we got type bonuses, all this stuff. You can read what it all does. It is going to be a lot to take in, because there's a lot of units, and if you try to remember what every unit's skills do, it's gonna be cumbersome, so you're kind of just gonna have to go with the flow. But you can bring this up anytime, and like I said, push X and get all the information you need. So, you know, these are just some quick little tips to kind of help you analyze the battle, prepare for the battle, understand the menus and navigation, and just little things that you can do that will make your life a little easier, you know? So hopefully this video helped out some new players, showed you a couple things, explained a few little things. Nothing too major. Just some basic things. I hope it did help, though. Let me know down below. What do you guys think? You guys enjoying the game? You having fun with the new Fire Emblem? You got any tips for new players yourself? Feel free to drop them down below. I would love other people to learn about the game and get better at it, because this game really does... starts off a little easy, but it gets rough. And like I said, playing on higher difficulties with permadeath. If anybody knows Fire Emblem, this is definitely a Fire Emblem game, and you can make it quite the challenge. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Until then, later guys. Peace.